Alright, so today's video is going to cover vocabulary from stage 28. So first we start with ak and atque. Two similar words mean the same thing. And it's a conjunction. They're both conjunctions meaning and. Obviously they're synonymous with the word et in Latin. Arrogantia, arrogantiae is a Latin noun. It's a first declension feminine noun meaning arrogance or gall. Obviously, you can see how the English word arrogance right here comes from arrogantia. Ageo, agere, auxi, auctus. It's a second conjugation verb, meaning to increase. We get the English word augment from it, something that's been added on, or augmented, increased and changed. Beneficium, beneficii is a second declension neuter noun, and it's just an act of kindness. Beneficial is a derivative of that. Constituo, constituere, constitui, constitutus is a third conjugation verb, and it means to decide. Corpus, corporus is a pretty easy one to figure out. It is a third declension neuter noun. Notice the genitive is an is right here. All right, third declension neuter noun meaning the body, and so we get corpulent, and we get corporal, and we get corpse and corpuscule all from it. And obviously the word just, corpse. All right, deligo, deligere, dilexi, delectus. It's a third conjugation verb, and it means to be fond of. Someone who is diligent, coming from this second principal part, is someone who is very fond of and very attentive to something. Doleo, dolere, dolui is a second conjugation verb, and it means to hurt or to be in pain. Doleful is a English derivative from this verb. Gemitus, gemitus, fourth declension masculine noun, and it means to groan, and you can kind of hear it in the word gemitus, groan. You can see that similarity into it. Heres, hereditas. It is a third declension masculine or feminine noun, and it means heir. The English word heritage comes from this. I mean, as does the English word heir, but let's expand our vocabulary at this point, guys. Ira, irai is a first declension feminine noun meaning anger. So ireful, 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 is or irascible are two derivatives from it. Lingua, linguae is another first declension feminine noun. It originally meant tongue, but it becomes to mean the thing spoken with your tongue or your language. So you can see it being used in two ways. We use it in the terms of lingua latina. A derivative is linguiform or linguist, someone who studies languages. Malus aum is a 2-on-2 adjective meaning evil or bad. So it's obviously the opposite of bonus aum. And malice is a derivative from it. Mando, mandare, mandavi, mandatus is a first conjugation verb. And it means to order or to trust or to hand over. Mandatory is a derivative from this. Metus, metus. Another fourth declension masculine noun, and it means fear. Mille is the first form, and you also have milia, milium. Both mean thousand. So mille is 1,000. When you get beyond, when you're talking about 2,000 or 3,000 men, you use milia, milium, a neuter plural noun. Obviously from the third declension, because it has a um ending. Millennium is a derivative we get from this. Molto is our first adverb, and it means much. Occido, occidere, occidi, occissus is another one of those Latin nouns that means to kill. It's a third conjugation verb, and it's from ob plus kaido. So literally this is kill by falling down, or to fall down in death. Opes, opum, another third declension feminine noun, but it's in the plural. You see the opum, not the traditional is genitive, but the um for the plural. It means money or wealth. We've seen an adjective that means rich. Dives, divitis, a type 3 adjective. We saw this talking about barbilus. So you've seen other adjectives dealing with rich and wealth. The word opulent comes from this noun. Pallidus, pallida, pallidum is a 2-1-2 adjective meaning to be pale. So when we're talking about the corpus, we can typically describe it as pallidum, the pale corpse. That's why in English we get the word pallid from this word. Praeficio, praeficere, praefeci, praefectus is a third IO verb, so third conjugation, it's an IO. It means to put in charge. We saw this in the last chapter when Modestus was praeficit in carcerem. He was put in charge of the prison. And it's literally from prae and facio put together. Quisquam, quidquam, and quicquam, which is an alternative of the quidquam, is a pronoun. It means anyone, quisquam, or anything, quidquam or quidquam. It's literally quis / quid plus quam. So you can see this conjugated. Quis, quid, or you can see quem, quam, or quam, quam. So you get a lot of forms for this one. They think that they understand that if you can conjugate the relative pronoun, then you should be able to deal with this just fine. Seek, we've seen this in the last chapter when we introduced result clauses. It's an adverb meaning thus or in this way, and it's again one of those intro words for a result clause, along with tantus, tam, tot, talis, ita, and tot again? I definitely lost count. Sorry about that. But seek is one of them in there with those other 7. Oh, adeo. I forgot adeo. Sorry about that, guys. Solo, solere, soli, solutus is a third conjugation verb, and it means to loosen or to untie, or if you're talking about a ship, to cast off. We saw this in the Blue Book when we were talking about the Navis Sacra being sent off from Alexandria. And we get the word solvent from there, or solution, things that dissolve things. Spei is one of our rare fifth declension feminine nouns. We know race, rei, and dies, diei as the other 2 that are really common. And it means hope. Suspicitatus, suspicitata, suspicitatum is another 2-1-2. Oh, I got ahead of myself. This is a perfect active participle. It means having suspected. All right, so it's a new perfect active participle. Testamentum, testamenti is a second declension neuter noun, and it is the will. Testamentary or testimony are 2 different things that come from this Latin noun. Ut, we've seen before, and it's a conjunction. And there's a misspelling there. It means, we've learned it as so, that, or just plain old that, but now it can also mean as. So that is with the subjunctive, as is with an indicative verb. So when we got to look carefully now at what is in our clauses, because we can have these 2 different translations. Ventus, venti is a second declension masculine noun meaning the wind. And then we get another set of numbers. Sexaginta is 60, related obviously to the Latin number sex. Septuaginta is 70, related to septim. Octoginta, 80, related to octo. Nonaginta, 90, related to noem. Centum is a new number. We haven't seen it before, but we get the English word century from it. It means 100, so a century is 100 years. And ducenti, ducenta is a 212 adjective, but also a number, and it means 200, related to duos and centum. And the reason why we can decline ducenti is because it's related to the word duos, which also declines. So those are our numbers those are our words for stage 28. Hopefully this is a good review for you. Look for on Canvas a quiz about these stage words.